Hello, hello.
Hello.
All right. Well, I think it's Andrea said he was unable to join today, and Emil apparently is on PTO, so he's on vacation. So I think it's just gonna be me that's doing this time. But let me share my screen. Yeah, well, I gotta be careful. All right, 1 second. Let me move this to another window. Okay, that should be good. Share
Yeah, this is
screen.
that this is that time of year.
Right, exactly. Where things are coming out and people are working on some interesting things. But all right, why is that? Um, why can I not find this other? Ah, here we go. All right, share. All right, cool. So you should be able to see the screen now, right? All right, cool.
Yeah, yeah, we're good.
All right, awesome, awesome.
And now we have
So
dark mode.
oh yeah, I always have everything in dark mode, but yeah, yeah. Oh, you mean this? Oh yeah, look at that. Nice, yeah. Nice. I also have a plugin that makes everything dark mode, so I probably never noticed it in the first place. But yeah,
Yeah,
let me
this is
see
one of
here.
the few. This is one of the few that wasn't dark mode for me.
Oh right, gotcha, gotcha. Okay, so let's go here. There's actually a couple or something that I wanted to talk about, so I'll just add it here. Standardizing on outcomes. This will be me. And then what else was there? Oh, then I have updates for SaaS of cloud events, zero trust.
Yeah, I've
All right,
been I've been really too busy to even work on any of this stuff. So I'm basically the past month I've just been coming to the meeting to keep up, what's going
gotcha,
on.
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, fair enough. I mean, nothing wrong with that. Okay, so yeah, so I think it's just probably going to be you and me, unless someone else joined. I did not see. But but yeah, so one thing that I wanted to talk about is standardizing on outcomes. Emil actually brought this up. Well, Emil, as well as other folks, had brought this up in the past. Like basically, tickets have outcomes, builds have outcomes, PRs have outcomes. I think PRs also have outcomes. I might be wrong there, but yeah, but there's several places where subjects and predicates have this outcomes enum. And one thing is that they're not consistent. So before things get like too crazy, I think we should probably take some time to figure out on how we want to standardize on outcomes with the verbiage or whatnot. Um, and this is definitely something I could take up. I could probably create first a GitHub issue around this, and then start thinking about standardizing. But I think if we look at, I think like one of the ticketing events, right? Let me go here, CDEvents spec. I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. I wonder if we can just go schemas. Would the docs be better? Maybe the docs are better. Let me see here. And then where's ticketing events? That would be under maybe it's a core. I don't think it's a core event. I don't know what they're classified as. Operations probably. Yeah, tickets. All right. So yeah, if you notice a ticket, we have this created, then we have updated. Where's outcomes? Outcome. Oh, maybe not. Maybe there is no outcomes for this. I thought there was. Huh. Well, I think. All right, maybe Emil was talking about something else because he referenced tickets and oh, maybe it was this ticket type or something like that nature priority. Yeah, I'm not too sure. Um, but yeah, let me actually look in the the GitHub issue though. All right, let me just do a search for outcomes. Okay, so we already have a few. Okay, so he meant the test, not tickets. He meant test. There's two T's. All right, so here's one. All right, so here's the outcome field that Emil was talking about. So right now it's just a string. And then I think other in the other predicate, it's actually an enum, which I think is a little bit more easier to understand and use, but also it outlines some what we call it, some standardized verbiage there that can be used. Let me see if I can find any though of what that would look like. So we do outcome. Yeah, here we go. So we have outcome, success, error, failure, and then we have success, error, failure here, success, error, failure. But yeah, you can see here it's like an enum, and then these are strings, right? So that's kind of like number one, is that there's difference in types. And then we have an outcome here, which is like pass and then fail, right? But this is called like failure. So that's the difference that everyone was alluding to, right? So we probably want to have something that is consistent. So fail should be fail everywhere, or failure, whatever we choose. And then if it's an enum in one place, it should be an enum or in everywhere. Or if it's not an enum, if it's just a string, we should also make it a string everywhere. We just need to decide on the type. So like I said, this is something I could work on, unless you want to take it, Brett. Because like I said, I have a lot on my plate, but so I'm way more than happy to let someone else take this. But if you can't, then I'll definitely just create an issue and then just start working on this.
What's the outcome? What are we looking for? Some
So
standardization, then all the tests, all the ticket examples before?
yeah. Well, basically, so if you notice, right, like right here, there's pass and fail, right? Like fail and failure in um as two different statuses when they mean the same thing, right? We need to be consistent and say, if we're going to say something's a fail, something had failed, we should make sure that the outcome is the same for all failure types or all failure statuses, right? Whether that's failure or fail as a string is completely, just up to whatever we choose for consistency. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the doc says success, error, failure. So I
Yeah.
mean, and is the doc's already been merged, right? So that's not a PR, right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
merged.
So this is not a PR. Yeah. This
Yeah,
is
so we
just
should just we should go fix it everywhere so that it's
exactly. Yeah, I mean,
success,
like
error, or
making it
failure.
consistent.
Okay.
Exactly, right. Instead of pass, right? Yeah. So like I said, that I mean, like I said, I can take this, and then also we need to make sure that where it says stringed enum, we want to make sure that it actually is a stringed enum, or if it's just a string, whether we should update these docs to be very, to be the same, right? If we're gonna say it's a string enum here, we should probably say it's a string enum in both of these places, or vice versa, right? So those are the two kind of call outs that need to be addressed for consistency reasons. So like I said, it's a pretty small task, but like I said, I can definitely take it. It's not too much, but if you want to try to take a whack at it, that's cool too. Whatever your time allows for.
I can probably do it. It's only in a couple of files.
Okay, cool. Sounds good then. All right, Brett.
In task run finished, unfinished, it looks like outcome is a dictionary.
Yeah, is it okay? Wait, where is that? Where did you see that?
Hang on. I just grabbed test case
Oh,
run finished.
test case run finished. This one. Um, test case run finished. I see this. I see outcome is passed. Is there another? Are you looking the schemas? Because schemas, it'll always be a dictionary because it's trying to tell you how to
That was
model
in the
that.
schema. Never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah, that's why. Yeah, so the things that we're interested is in the conformance as well as like in the documentation to make sure everything is consistent. Um, so yeah, and then yeah, all this should be similar in that this outcome should be type string, but also have either mentions that it's an enum or just strip out all the ones that say it is an enum. So let's look at the ones that say enum, right? So that is task run. So if we go to task run, oh, these are just all task run. Okay, so let's do, oh, it's pipeline. That's not what we wanted. We wanted
Those are
task run.
schemas.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to see if the outcome actually said it was an enum. So yeah, see right here, it's saying that this is a typed enum with these types in it, right? Which that's the problem with the standardization. Like these are not the ones that we want. We want to be consistent, right? Um, and
Okay.
then on top of that, if we go to pipeline finishes outcome, right? Its outcome definition, it's just a type string with no enums in it whatsoever, right? So we need
Yeah.
to figure out how we want to address this outcome field, right? We probably want, like I said, that's why I think we should start with a GitHub issue, kind of like talk about it a little bit or lay out the thoughts. And then maybe have a follow-up PR. You can do it at the same time, create an issue, and then just have a PR like immediately after as well. That's completely fine. But we need to talk about whether or not we want to model this in the schemas as enums or strings. So that's kind of problem number one. Problem number two is the states, whatever we want to call them, should be consistent. So, like I said, like the other ones were like pass, which could easily be replaced with like success or whatnot. So yeah, so that's kind of like number one. But then we want to also talk about past typically when you're talking about test cases, right? You're usually saying when a test succeeds, it also passes, right? So I wonder if passes make sense. But yeah, like I said, that's where the discussion needs to be had on what the best practices are, and just ensure that we are consistent where we need to be. So yeah, so that's pretty much the gist of that. Um, does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, we just need to stomp out the inconsistency. I got it.
Exactly. Cool. Okay, yeah. Because I like the reason why I keep asking if it makes sense is because like I know I can be kind of terrible with words sometimes. So like sometimes I say more than what like without any context. So I'm just making sure. Okay, cool. So thanks for taking that, Brett, because yeah, like I said, anything that that people can help with is always a huge win for us. Um and then another thing, I don't know if you've heard. Oh, yeah, you probably did. You were here at the last meeting. Okay, so right now with cloud events, right, we're looking at adding zero trust, which is the protocol that CDEvents uses to send its messages or its event data through, or the format that it sends it in. So with zero trust, the cloud events folks told us to look at two potential ways of doing that. One was SMIME. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, or Jose. So those were the kind of the two that were asked to be looked at. And so what I had done was I talked to the security folks, and they were actually not they did not think it was a good idea to look to consider those two algorithms or those two approaches or protocols, I guess, um, or formats. And the reason being is that they're a little flexible, and what that means is flexible is not necessarily a bad thing, but in terms of security, if something becomes a security issue, taking away flexibility becomes a huge breaking change. So that's why they were a little bit more, they're a little reluctant on using those two approaches, and they recommended me looking at something called DSSE. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that, but I'll send I'll paste a link here. Um, this is kind of like the new kid on the block, as the security folks have put it. Um, it's supposed to handle like signatures. So I think that's probably what we're going to end up doing. So SMIME and Jose were recommended by Cloud Events. security said they were a little too flexible. And then instead, what we want to do is look at DSSE. So that's kind of like where we're at with this. And the reason why I keep bringing it up into CDEvents, even though it's not really relevant to CDEvents at a spec level, it is going to affect CDEvents at some point, right? Because security is going to need to be handled, right? So that's why I keep bringing them up, bringing up the progress and whatnot. So that's kind of where we're at. And I don't know if you, Jalander, or Brett, if either one of you have other algorithms or protocols to look at for security, or the formats at least, um, other than like DSSE or anything alternative to S-MIME, please let me know, because like I said, like this seems like to be the route that we're going, is not utilizing which these are called CMS types. CMS types, which are the really, really flexible ones. So yeah, so that's kind of the update there. And I know Jalander, you had a PR for community for the Jira translator, right?
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. So I saw what you meant based off your GitHub comment. So I do want to put it in here because um Jira translator PR formatting is a little hairy to even fix. So I see why this was difficult for you, Jolander, is that apparently if you want to do this properly with Markdown, you have to use HTML and put a breakpoint where all the new lines are, which at that point it becomes like
Yeah.
it's not, yeah, it's just not a good
Right.
way of doing that. So I think the
Mm.
alternative approach is, so this is what I'm kind of thinking, Jolander. Let me know if this works for you. And either you can do this or I can update that PR to do it. Let me know whatever you prefer. But basically my thinking is, instead of inlining the JSON in that table cell, linking it to the example, like have a section called examples at the bottom, and linking directly to the like Jira, or sorry, the Jira like ticket created event JSON or something like that. Do you think that's prefer? I think that might be preferable. Do you have any thoughts on that?
You mean like maybe creating a link down the page,
Yes, yeah.
pointing
So
there, is it? Like,
I'll kind of show you
okay.
what I'm talking about. So
Yeah.
CD events, community. So I haven't updated the full PR fully, but I'll wait, except it's in here. But I'll show you what I was attempting to do. But it's not done just yet. But if we look here, so we have this link here, like example. I'm gonna rename this, but then at the very bottom it has this, and then you just click that, and then it has the JSON. What do you think?
Yeah. So I think that's fine. So otherwise, like we are not able to do within the table. So that goes like
No, I mean, yeah, you
yeah.
can, except it's really ugly. Like it's not like, for example, right? Like this whole string would be a single line string, but at every new line point right here would be a breakpoint. So this would be a BR here, a BR here, a BR here, or sorry, a
Yeah.
break
Yeah.
here.
Understand. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
dude, I don't even know why it's so hard to do this, because it seems like a pretty useful use case. So, but yeah, I completely understand why you're having issues. Um, but yeah, so do you like that alternative approach? And if you
Oh
do
yeah.
you want
So
me to update the PR, or do you want to do that?
I look at that. I can update that. So I
Okay.
was actually trying different things, like even with links, but that doesn't look good. Like from there to here, like that I thought. But yeah, it's fine. I think I can have the links. That's fine. I guess. Like
Okay.
there's no other option. Like if we have options, so that's different things to do. Like having
Yeah,
changing the entire event.
we're pretty restricted, unfortunately. Okay, cool. So I think that should be good then. So we should have that PR updated. And then okay, I think that's pretty much all I had in terms of standardization of outcomes. And then the Cloud Events update, and then the Jira Translator PR as well. Did you have anything else, Jolander or Brett? Because otherwise, we can probably call it here.
So yeah,
No, I'm trying to
one
get this
quick thing,
issue
like
written up so that I can get it in the doc.
Cool. Thanks. Thank you.
I don't know
And
how
then
detailed I really need to be in this thing though.
Yeah, I don't probably not too crazy. Like I said, it could always facilitate discussion, which can fill in the gaps or things that may have not been covered that will eventually get covered. So I think you can be uh it, you know I think you can be sparse, but but as long as it gets a point across, I think is the goal.
Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'm just gonna get this written up enough and then I'm gonna uh just create a PR. I mean, because this is
Gotcha.
pretty trivial.
Okay, cool. Thanks again, Brett. Really appreciate it. And then another thing that kind of happened as well. So last week we also had the first implementations meeting, which went really well. We had some folks join. And one thing that kind of came out of that is so Andrea went ahead and created the implementation working group repo. So the plan from now on is anything related to implementation, architecture, or design of something like of a service or a library will be had in that working group, which happens on a bi-weekly basis on Tuesdays at the same time. So something else I wanted to add to that is that the the links. So the links issue originally, I was going to create them in each SDK, but now that we have this implementation working group, I started creating the links for the SDK's implementation in that repo instead. So I just wanted to mention that, Jolander. So you should start seeing the links, what needs to all be done. It's going to kind of be like an epic. I might even make it a milestone with various different issues tied to it. So just letting you know, Jolander, just keep an eye out, and that will kind of let you know what gaps need to be filled in the SDKs for links. Sound good?
mhm. Yeah, okay.
All right. Cool. All right then. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Just added I just
What's
added
that?
on top of like what Jira Translate. I just added one thing on Jira Translator. Like a
Ah,
repo
yeah,
needs to
yeah.
be created like Jira Translator once the I'll call this as an RFC. So RFC
Mhm.
approved. So I think that's one thing. We'll need to request
Yeah.
Andrea like
No,
uh,
I can actually
permissions.
create the repo. Yeah, I can actually create it. So as long as once the RFC gets approved, just ping me directly, Jolander, and I can create that, no problem. And then we can kind of go from there. So yeah, that shouldn't be an issue. Um, but yeah, all right, cool. So was there
Also, I
anything
have
else?
uh,
What's that?
PRs like that I have open. Also, like I wanted to give an update on the PRs that I have for the Get It
Sure.
translator. It's a part two. So I think that needs a review from you and Andrea then. So I think
Okay.
that's open for review. And also the custom CD events that are introduced to uh, Java SDK. So that is also kind of pending for review, like from.
Gotcha. Yeah, I started reviewing the Java SDK. I haven't finished. It turned out to be a lot larger than I anticipated. So sorry for taking a little bit on it. Unfortunately, my time's a little spread out, so I can only do it when I have like 10 or 30 minutes like a free time. So I hope that is okay. But I should have it probably fully reviewed probably here in the next like hour or so. And that should be okay. SDK Java PR for custom events.
I will add the links here. So no problem.
All right, cool. Needs reviewers. Uh, then we'll review. Then we'll review. Okay, cool. All right, there you go. Okay, have no idea what that just did, but all right. Um, okay, so I think that should be good. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Anything else?
Nope.
All
I'm
right,
trying to have this
cool. Well,
PR
thanks
up this
again.
afternoon.
Oh, awesome, Brett. Yeah, if you could get that done that quick, yeah, I'd be so so
Well, I mean,
appreciative of that. Yeah. But yeah,
today's the day. How's that? I'm looking at my
yeah,
calendar and I've got two meetings this afternoon, one at 2:30 and one at 4:30. And then that is so rare for a Monday for me that
oh, gotcha. So you're like, this is the day to like get some code and get some stuff written down. All right, gotcha.
yeah, because I won't
Awesome.
have time again until Wednesday. And I usually forget about this stuff on Wednesday.
Oh
Or I
yeah,
get
same.
swamped, on Tuesday I get waylaid with something.
Yeah, I completely feel you on that. Yeah, I usually have like a bunch of like reminders, calendar reminders in general, just kind of like keep me updated with things I needed to do. Yeah, so I completely feel you on that. Okay, well, cool. I think that should wrap that up then. So, that should give everyone 30 minutes back. So thank you again, Brett, Jolander. I'll take a look at those two PRs. And I should have the Java SDK done by today. And then once I do, I'll ping you on Slack. Sound good?
Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Thank
All
you.
right, well, thanks everyone. I'll talk to you guys on Slack then. All right. All right, bye everybody.
Later.